Mikey Dread, Mother Nose, and Roxy Romeo. The only team keeping you lit in Philly.
Philly's Power 99 Rising Ground Morning Show. Mother Nose, Roxy Romeo, and Mikey Dread. Our guest has officially arrived. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Julian King from The Voice.
Hey! What's up, everybody?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great.
Are you a morning person? You normally get up this early?
Definitely not a morning person, but I'm so glad to be here today.
Mama said she pushed you out the bed this morning.
Pushed me out.
So I learned about Julian, and I'm a super huge fan. I want to say it was a few months ago. So Delilah, you know, my girl Delilah D, we are friends, and she put on this concert with a bunch of local artists. And I literally looked up every single local artist. Everyone's super talented, but Julian was the one that stood out to me. And I called her. I was like, who is this guy? His voice is amazing. I stalked him on social media. I was looking at all of his videos that he posted, and I was like, there's something special. So I'm so not surprised at all that you are on The Voice, that you were on John Legend's team. Like, I'm just not surprised.
And you came in and you said, Dread, Mother, I saw this guy. He's absolutely amazing.
I did.
And we have to have him on the show. And me and Mother was like, okay, well, let's do some research. And look, here you are.
Look at God. God is good.
God is good.
Yes, and you're working with John Legend, Adam Levine. They were totally swooned over your talent. How does that feel? I mean, this is John Legend.
It was really cool. Going into the process, it was a mental battle between Adam and John. I'm a huge fan of pop music with R&B sensualities and R&B music with pop sensualities. So Adam and John both do that beautifully. And I couldn't have imagined it happening any other way. I mean, John truly is a guy who's just super knowledgeable about music and super sensitive to just vocalists and music together, so it's a perfect match.
Yeah, but you didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. I didn't have to make the hard decision of like, this is so hard. No.
Like, John Legend literally used his block so Adam could not take him.
And in the voice world, that's like the hugest honor that you could get.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a presidential pardon, you know?
Okay. Julian, who have been your biggest influences on your sound?
Definitely John Bellion, Miguel, Chris Brown, JT, Prince, a dude named Kevin Michael. Yeah, those are like my guys.
Okay. So you have been doing this for how long?
I seriously started doing this around 8th grade because I wanted to be a veterinarian up until that point, and then it kind of just switched like overnight. So yeah, since like 8th grade. Okay,
and talk to me about China, because I know you went to China, and I think that's absolutely insane.
Bruh. First of all, 早上好. That's how we say good morning.
Okay.
Say it one more time.
早上好.
Sasha How?
早上好.
Oh, Sasha
How. China was incredible. Honestly, to be completely honest, I was a little depressed like the first 3.5 months, just because I was going through my first Thanksgiving, my first Christmas, New Year's, and my birthday over there.
But how did China even happen?
Well, I ended up getting a Facebook message from the company.
Okay.
And at the time, like, I had just lost my job. My lease was up in my apartment. I had just broken up with my old management team, and I kind of just was at an all-time low, for real, which is why that song means so much to me. And then I got the message. I was on a plane like 3 weeks later.
I always feel like musicians, like, always have these, like, amazing stories. The starving musician, you lose your job, you out of your house, and the next thing you know, you're in China.
Right. Yeah. Julian, you're right here from Philly, right? What part you from?
I'm from Uptown, West Oak Lane.
From Uptown. So how did this all start in the beginning? Was your mom a musician, your dad a musician? Who started you in this singing thing?
So I come from a family full of singers and creatives. My grandfather was a pastor, and they owned a church in West Philly. My grandma was over the children's ministry. My uncle was the associate pastor. My mom was a worship leader. I sang on the praise team choir. My aunt was over the fine arts. It was just like we all ran it.
It's in your blood.
Yeah. All of us sing. All of us are somewhat like some part of creative, and it's really, really cool.
Right. So when did you decide I'm going to take this serious? As a young man, or were you a little bit older?
No, it happened in 8th grade. Like I said earlier, I really wanted to be a veterinarian. I have a huge love for animals, and someday I still want to study marine biology.
Right.
But 8th grade, I did a musical, and it kind of just switched instantly, and I was like, wow, I kind of really like this feeling.
Right. So did you have a conversation with mom and say, listen, I don't know about going to veterinary school. I want to be a musician. No, I'm serious, because that's a serious conversation that you have to have with your parents.
I think she was a little shocked.
Yeah.
In 8th grade, like, I was at J.R. Masterman, and I was going to stay at Masterman and then keep going up the whole hierarchy. And then it was like, I want to go to Kappa. And everyone was like, I mean, okay, like you sing and dance in church, but like, what's going to happen now?
Right.
My brother was at Central, so I only applied to 3 schools, Masterman, Central, and Kappa.
Right.
I got into all 3 of them, and I kind of just was like, all right, Julian, what are you going to do? You got to make a decision now. So
were you the type of artist that said, you know, I want to get signed and I want to get on through social media? Or were you kind of just like, I'm a put together a demo and shop it to labels, or I'm going to do this from the muscle? I'm going to keep it homegrown. I'm going to keep it in the family. What was your lane?
Well, it was very interesting because I remember around 9th grade, we ended up having a lot of like labels coming to my school because Boys and Men had just visited. We just did a commercial with Jasmine Sullivan. So it was like a lot of tension on Kappa at the time. And in my mind, like back then, Instagram was not a thing. And I don't even really think Twitter was. Like, it was just like MySpace. So, damn, MySpace.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah, it just was like, I thought that I was just going to go into a label, get signed. I swore I was ready at 14. You couldn't tell me anything. And then after a while, I just started seeing that it just wasn't working out. So I tried this avenue. It wasn't working out. I tried with these people and started going to the labels directly. It wasn't working out. And then I just kind of decided, like, whatever God has for me is for me. I'm content with that, you know.
Julian, you have some impressive performances. You toured aboard China.
Yeah.
You're currently on NBC's The Voice.
Yeah, man.
You even performed in front of thousands right in your own hometown for Wow Wow Welcome America. But the one that I love, now I love all of them, but this is the one that takes the cake. You toured with the Queen. Talk about opening up for my girl, Miss Mary J. Blige.
It was the most surreal moment of my life. I kind of was just thinking in my head, like, God, I was just at the bodega ordering $1 hoagie, and now I'm opening up for the Queen, and it was really phenomenal. Like, it was an interesting time because that's when she was kind of going through the divorce, and I was being really sensitive to that, but I was also trying to like fan out, but like trying to be cool. But you know, it was really, really cool. I ended up having doing it 2 nights in Foxwoods,
nice,
Connecticut. And I remember that drive. I was so nervous, and I just remember leading up to that moment, and then afterwards, it was incredible.
Do you still get nervous on stage?
Yeah, my blind audition, you can't really tell because I was wearing white, but I was perspiring. Like, so serious. Like, I was drenched.
How did the whole Mary J thing happen? Did you get a call or?
So no, my manager at the time ended up getting a call, and I think whoever was opening up for her at the time pulled out, and he called me and was like, all right, so I got some good news and some bad news. I was like, give me the bad news first. He was like, we might have to drive like 5 hours.
Right.
And I was like, for who?
Right.
And then he said, Mary. I said, oh, what time do we leave?
Yeah. I know that's right. Gas it up. Put the gas in, tolls, let's go.
Literally, I remember at the time I was asking everybody around me for money. I called my mom for money, like, we need gas money. I called my grandma, like, it was crazy. And we all came together and
it made it happen.
Yeah.
Nice. It takes a village.
It does take a village.
So, Julian, you are officially on Team Legend.
Yeah.
This is a really, really, really big deal. And I know it's still kind of new, but has your life changed in any way? Or how has it changed?
I went into Chili's one day and someone asked to take a picture with me. That was kind of cool. But I mean, I'm still just living a regular life. I'm still pumping my gas, and it's pretty expensive. Delaware Avenue. It's just been incredible. Like, I'm new to Twitter, and just to be able to like talk to people is really, really cool.
So you do get a lot. Well, I'm assuming that your follower game is going up. Yeah,
it's crazy. I had like 25.9, I think, on Instagram. Now I'm almost at 34K, and it's only been 1 episode. It's pretty crazy.
All right, and so, what is like the ultimate goal for Julian King? Like, where do you want to see yourself? Where do you want your career to be?
I see myself in the likes of like Prince, Bruno, JT, B. You know, like I really pride myself on being an entertainer, and I'm super grateful to have the skill set that I have, being a singer, dancer, musician, and just entertainer. So you
really just want to. You would love to go down in history as one of the greats.
Yeah, I got like something growing in my throat.
Take a sip. Shut up. Take a sip of water.
Get this man some water.
He's got some.
I think that MJ passed it to B, and I would love if B passed it to me.
Wow, that's big. Yeah. That's big.
Julian, what is the biggest challenge you face since you've been on The Voice?
Biggest challenge. It's just not second guessing myself. There's also this like pressure that I have from just people around me, and everything around me is kind of like this expectation to be something or be what people think you're supposed to be, instead of just like, y'all need to chill. God is going to do whatever he needs to do, you know?
I know that's right. And you attended Philadelphia University of the Arts and perfected your craft there.
I did.
Talk about what you learned.
So it was in college that I really decided, okay, there's no turning back. I was working at Apple. I was commuting back and forth to the city, and I also was working at a dueling piano bar. And it was there that I really started like training classically and jazz studies, and my ear started growing, and I started just like opening up to more genres of music. Because growing up in church, you tend to kind of stay either R&B or gospel, with some jazz influences depending on how good of a music ear your parents have. So it was really nice to like be singing classical music and pop music and like Broadway. I remember like auditioning for Lion King plenty of times. I got said no. I was auditioning for so much, and I just kept going. And it was just a reminder that like, just not yet, you know.
Well, we're going to put you to work because they say your tone is reminiscent of The Weeknd. Can we get a sample?
Early morning sample?
It's kind of early, y'all.
Come on now, you're professional.
I was the knight in shining armor in your movie. Would put your lips on mine and love the aftertaste now. I'm a ghost, I call your name, you look right through me. But you're the reason that I just can't concentrate. I said I found a lie to try to hide, but now you know it, yeah. That I'm mad in no time. Low, 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 low. Low, 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 low. Low, 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 said I.
Yes!
Nice.
Come on now. You came all the way through, Julian, for that one.
From The Voice, we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming through.
For having me.
Where can people check you out? What are your social media pages?
You can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at It's Julian King. So ITSJULIAN. King. It's Julian King.
I would say shout out your family, but I know there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
we got some of them here.
Yeah.
We got Mama King.
Everyone.
Thanks for coming through, Julian.
Thank you for having me. Love y'all.
Yo, with the station that holds you down with the hottest hip hop and R&B joints. It's Philly's Power 99 FM.